Hey, what's going on? This is Matt Bowman, and this is Matt Bowman is Bothered. And can you believe we're back at it again? We're here again, and who would have frickin' known it? I didn't know. Oops. I didn't know. It's my name on the podcast, and it's only me that's here doing it, but I wasn't 100% sure we were going to be able to do it again. But that's all right. And already, just a little peek behind the curtain, I did already lie when I said that it's just me here. It is just me human here. However, Rooney is trying to fight his way out of the bedroom, and Teddy is trying to just sit and observe on the other side. I have to put the cats in one of the... at least Rooney, because he's a serial offender. I have to put him in the bedroom when I record this, because if not, he's going to come up and go with the fucking mic. Not even the mic, it's the camera, where the camera's at. And I can't have that. I just don't need that in my life. I am trying to be Maddie B with a positive P. That's really how I'm trying to live my life now. I am trying to be Maddie B with a positive P. That's how I'm trying to kind of navigate things now. It's really hard, but I'm trying to have that positive spin on it, you know? Just a nice positive spin, and it's already hard to have a positive spin because I will set up the camera and I'll hit record and I'll sit down and I'll be like, oh, how's it going? Does it look okay? Do I need to move anything? Because I don't have a producer. I am me, and me is the producer. So I was just checking that out, and I hit record, and I watched the footage back just to make sure that I was lined up. And I don't know what it is, but I am looking a little tubby today. I'm feeling... I don't feel tubby, but I'm looking a little tubby. I'm looking like I'm carrying a few extra LBs, you know? Which I would also love a scientific explanation of how pound, spelled Pounds, is abbreviated LBS. I know that there's something, and I guarantee that I'm super stupid, and as soon as you ask a question like that, somebody's just like, oh, well, how, you should have, because based on the periodic and Western culture, and because of how, are you an idiot? Did you even go to school? What about, did you drop out of community college? I understand that, but it doesn't make any sense, because quite literally none of the letters in LBS are in the word pounds. So how are we just making up rules? We're just making them up? And if so, cool. I'm down with that. I just think that all of the other words and abbreviations have rules to them, and it seems like on that one we just kind of like let shit fly, which again I'm down for, but I just want an explanation. But all that to say, I think I'm carrying, it looks like, at least in the camera, that I'm carrying a few extra LBs, and I'm trying to get rid of them. I'm trying to exercise more every day. Just really trying to stay on top of that. It's hard because exercising can suck, but also exercising does feel really good when you do it. So I should do it more. I've been trying to work out more at home. I need to get back to the gym because I am paying for it. So I should probably use it at least a little bit. Maybe not, I don't have to use all of it, but I should use a little bit of it, you know? But, yeah, I feel like I looked at my face and I'm like, ooh, not uggo, not like mad ugly, not like fugly, you know? But just like, ooh, you know what I mean? Just like a little bit of, Like, is that my face? I can't remember whose bit it is. I think it might be Louis, but he's like, have you ever seen a picture of yourself and it ruins your day? That's kind of how I was over there. Like, I was having a nice, fine day, you know, Maddie B with a positive P, but then I just caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror that is my camera, and it kind of bummed me out for a second. But that's okay, because we're turning it around. We're taking negativity and we're turning it into positivity, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right, you know? It is hard for me to be positive. I do carry around a certain amount of negative energy and a certain amount of negativity. But I also feel like that's somewhat warranted because it's not great. And by it, I mean life. But, you just gotta make the mess of it. You guess you made a mess of it. Save the mess of it. The rest of the show is in broken English that an alien would speak if they had been in the United States for a month and a half. You know what I mean? That's that alien species. For those who don't, I understand that this is tedious for everybody that kind of already knows this, but that alien species, they finish all of their sentences with like a very comedic, like a very high pitched Tim Allen. Rather than it's like yeah, that's that alien species. So really glad that we dove into that. Again, I'm trying to be Matty B with the positive P, and I'm also trying to be a little sillier, just trying to we're just hanging loose, we're having a good time, and yeah, trying to be more more positive. And it's okay to make fun of things and to be negative. That's okay. I like doing that. It is fun to be like, that sucks. This is stupid. And I will always do that, but I think I need to have more of like some sort of a positive undercurrent underneath that, rather than just like, meh, Because eventually that gets old and boring, and nobody wants to be around somebody who's always, That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's where my noggin's at. That's where my head's at. So, in light of that, I still have shit that bothers me, and this is something that, especially if you live in a city, I think you understand more so than other people, but it's not exclusive to people that live in cities. It can be anywhere where there are cars and people occupying the same space. But it really grinds my goat when you are crossing the street and you have the right of way, like you have the walk sign, but someone is trying to like turn in front of you, and as you're walking, they're like creeping. Like they're in their little fucking Prius and they're just like creeping and creeping. Fucking stop. Literally, put on your brakes and stop, or I'm going to stop and tie my shoe in front of your car. Because that's ridiculous. Just, you're not saving any time, and it makes me want to ruin your day. Because you're obviously someone who has some sort of like an issue with, I don't know, lack of control or impulse, whatever. But if I'm crossing and you are moving your car closer to me and I have the right of way, fucking get in an accident later. Because stop. You're saving what? 0.03 seconds? Why are you doing it? Slow down. Because I am so serious, dude. If that happens and I see you do, I will walk slower. And I'll look you in your eye as you lose your fucking mind. I will do that. Because it's one thing to like creep into an intersection to try to make sure that you It's one thing to kind of creep into an intersection to make sure that you can make it through a light. That's one thing. That's not what we're discussing here. Those are not the facts of the case. This scenario is one where you can turn left. Go ahead and turn left. But fucking wait until I am clear so it doesn't look like you're trying to run me over with your car. Fair enough? That seems fair enough to me. That seems like a reasonable request, that a pedestrian with the right-of-way shouldn't expect a vehicle to hit them. I don't think I'm asking for too much. But it is something that is at times rampant within this city. And just cities in general. However, I don't really notice it in like the suburb. Just there's more people here, so there's more shitty people here. That's math. The more people that are around, the more shitty people are going to be around. And I understand, like, if you want to creep and you want to try to like get into you're trying to like force your way into another lane and it's super clogged and you've got to make your move. That's fine. All for that. What I'm saying is that if I have the right of way and I'm in the middle of an intersection and I'm crossing and I feel your bumper, fender, I don't know, cars, whatever the front part, if I feel or see you getting closer, I will lay down in the street in a silent protest against you. I will do that. Because you deserve it, and it's very annoying, the behavior that you're exhibiting. And these are thoughts and feelings that I stand by, and I think that other people will share that opinion. What the fuck, dude? Every fucking time. I swear to Christ, I haven't yawned in a week. Maybe not a week. I haven't yawned in at least 3 days. But without fail, every single mother flippin' time I sit in this chair to record a podcast, my lungs are just like, we need more air. My brain just suddenly is like, hey man, haven't gotten enough oxygen today, and it's a key ingredient to keeping shit flowing. Now, I'm all for oxygen and my brain getting oxygen, but can I yawn at a time that is not when I'm trying to be productive and requires me to speak? Can we at least do that? Because I'm tired of cutting that shit out. And I'm also just tired of it continuously happening. It happens nearly every GD episode, and I don't even know how that's statistically possible. I don't know. Oh, man. Sometimes when you sit here, you do feel like a fucking crazy person. Because it is legitimately crazy. This is something that used to... If I didn't publish this or put it out on some sort of a platform, this is something that used to get you institutionalized. That for 30 minutes to an hour, somebody would just sit in a chair by themselves, alone, and just have impassioned conversations with yourself. Yeah, you're a witch, dude. In like every other century but this one, you're a witch. You are a witch. Or a wizard. Is the male version of witch wizard or warlock? What is a... Harry Potter fans, fucking hit me up. What is a wizard and what is a warlock? Are they the same? Are they different? Is one upgraded to the other? Is one better than the other? But whatever it is, if you did what I'm doing right now, even 50, even 30 years ago, people would be like, yeah, you're the fucking weirdest person I've ever met. Teddy, my other cat, decided to come over and try to just fuck with everything, and that's not going to fly. On the SS Matt Bowman is Bothered podcast, Matt Bowman is bothered by his cats. Today, Matt Bowman is bothered by his cats. And yeah, he kept coming over here and fucking... I got up to get the spray bottle, which normally is a good deterrent, but he didn't give a fuck, and so I had to pick him up and put him in the bedroom. So they're both locked in the bedroom. There we go. Now, what the hell was I talking about? So this comes out Friday. So March Madness started yesterday, and wow, here's me reacting to all of the March Madness games that happened yesterday. Oh, whoa. Oh my. those two teams, the one that was supposed to win didn't, and the one that wasn't supposed to win did, and isn't that a pretty picture? What an amazing country this is, where two teams play and the one that was supposed to win didn't win. Crazy. This has been me reacting to the March Madness games from yesterday, the day before they happened. Wow. What a segment that was. But yeah, March Madness legitimately does start. I'm recording this Wednesday. Yeah, I'm recording this Wednesday. March Madness starts tomorrow on. Well, technically, it started last night with the play-in games, which they just keep fucking expanding and expanding. Just eventually, the whole motherfucking season's gonna be a tournament. I understand you want more teams to blah blah blah, but at some fucking point, it becomes too much. Like right now, it's 64 technically. 68 teams. 68 teams make the tournament. Good Christ. 68 teams make the tournament. It's to the point now that if you're a major basketball operation and you don't make the tournament, you're a dunce. This year, my Buckeyes, dunce. Bad. Like, what are we going to just keep fucking expanding it so that why, dude? Why? It's fine how it is, you greedy fucks. And they're going to try to say, well, it's so that Furman State can have the opportunity to play on a national stage. Lick a dick, dude. Lick a dick. It's so that you can make more money. You don't give a fuck. You don't care about these universities. You don't. You don't care. You want money. Now, I would almost respect you. I would almost respect them if they came out and they were like, hey, man, we gotta expand this tournament so we can make some more motherfucking coin, right? We can make some more coin, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would understand that, and I would be like, okay, dude, at least they're fucking transparent about their bullshittery, their greediness. But they just keep wanting to expand it and expand it and expand it. And don't even get me started on how the World Cup, like in 2026, just announced that it's just like, we're going to have 146 teams. Everybody makes it. Everybody wins. Fuck you, dude. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. At some point, you water down your product, you know? Now, I will say that as is, March Madness, the NCAA tournament, is a super fun time. I love that. The da 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 dun 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 bum bum ba da bum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da doo. I'm Jim Nance and Bill Rafferty Onion. Like, that's fucking cool. I like that shit. That's fun. I like the first several days. Like, I will agree that the first several days of the tournament are super cool. They are super fun. But it's fine as it is. It's perfect as it is. And I'm sure that, like, I think the tournament used to be like 32 teams, and then they doubled it to 64. And I'm certain at that time people were like, whoa, blah, blah, blah. I understand. I like the way that it is now. 64 seems great. 64 is fine. You don't need to do anything more. The conference tournaments are cool enough. Like, Ohio State made a run in the conference tournament. That was super cool. We were like the 14th seed, and we made it to the semifinals. Like, that's pretty fucking sick. You know? However, they're not going to listen to me because they never do. I write them a letter every year, and they don't listen. They say, thanks again, but no thanks. Maybe because maybe I should stop writing letters. Maybe I should I should update it and just start sending carrier pigeons, maybe like a smoke signal, something like that. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. I've lost complete control or focus. Yes, March Madness. The other thing with March Madness is, like, I am done. It's really cool for upsets. I really think upsets are really, really cool, and that's one of those super special things about March Madness and the NCAA tournament. However, there is so much more parity in college basketball now there is so, like, with the advent of, like, the one and done, or just, like, player mobility, all of this stuff, when 15 seeds, 16 seeds, when these teams upset the bigger seeds, yes, it's crazy, but not nearly as crazy as it was even 10 years ago. Like, a couple years ago, maybe it was last year or the year before, I don't fucking remember. Whenever a 16 seed beat a 1 seed, that happened for, like, the first time ever a while ago. And when that happened, there were people who were like, this is the greatest upset in the history of sports. That's it. 16 beats a 1? That's great. But it's not. Because it's so much flatter. Like, the distance between Duke and Kansas and Kentucky and, like, Murray State, and no shit on Murray State, that's just the first kind of team that I came up with, that gap has never been closer than it is now. Like, are they definitely better, and do they still get the better recruits? Absolutely. Do they play in tougher conferences? Sure. But the distance between the talent levels, it used to be pretty fucking wide, and now it's much closer. So the upsets, yes, they're cool and they mean something, but they don't mean nearly as much as they used to. I guess that's my point. And so, yeah, I'm excited for the tournament. It's going to be really fun. I don't have a job right now, so I'm going to be sitting right over chair, writing jokes, and watching basketball. That's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a good time. And the first 4 days of the tournament, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like the round of 64 and the round of 32 are some of the best games, because there's like a fucking game going on all the time. There's like a game, I think I looked, the first game tips at like 12:10, and then the next game 12:4. Like, there's like a game every 30 minutes, like until like 11:30 at night. It's fucking awesome. It's the best. The best, Jerry. So I am looking forward to that, and that's gonna be the tits. I did fill out my bracket. I picked Purdue in my main bracket to win it all. Sam picked hers. I believe she picked Duke. She picked Duke in John Shire. She knows nothing about basketball, but in John Shire's first season, Sam is just like, I believe in them to win the Natty. Yawns again. Eat a dick. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Champions League's going on as we speak. How's it going? Halftime, Liverpool, Real Madrid, 0-0. Madrid is up 5-2 on aggregate. They're done. The other one is Napoli versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Ooh, Napoli's up 3-0 up 1-0 at halftime, 3-0 on aggregate. That game is effectively over. So yeah, that's your Champions League update. But let's go back over to my notes. I've been getting back into Age of Empires, specifically Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition. And if you're cool, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not cool and an overall piece of shit, let me explain it to you. Age of Empires is a RTS game, a real-time strategy game, from, I believe, like the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember playing it when I was like being introduced to Age of Empires when I was like I was in elementary school, and we would go over to my Uncle Dave's house. And this was back when my cousins that are like 8 years older than me, they were probably like 16. So that would have made me like 8 or 9. And we would go over and we would just play Age of Empires. We would have LAN parties, and that was back when that was like the coolest thing you could do. Is you just like everybody would bring over their computer and you would just play Age of Empires for frickin' hours, dog. That was so fun. And so there's like a big nostalgia element to it for sure. But then I would just like keep watch. And I've just kind of played off and on throughout my life. Like I get like an itch that's all that I want to do. Sometimes I think I'm a little autistic because that I just get super focused in on something, and it's like all I've done for like the past week has just been play Age of Empires, read up on Age of Empires. There's a fucking tournament going on right now that I've been super into, and I've just been watching these guys play Age of Empires, and they're They're so good at it. They're so good. And I used to not understand when people would be like, I used to not understand the people that would want to just sit down and watch people play video games. Just like I didn't understand the enjoyment that people got from that, from just sitting down and watching someone else play a game that you can play yourself. But when you're watching somebody who's really good at a video game, it's pretty impressive. It's not the same, but it's very similar to just like, yeah, I can throw a football, but I still want to go to an NFL game. You know, I could shoot hoops, but I still really enjoy watching Giannis play. You know what I mean? Like, it's really fun and really interesting to watch guys or people that are just really good at what they do. You know? People, like, the skills that they have, like, to be this fucking good at a video game that came out 20 years ago is a little insane, but boy, am I here for it. And I don't know, the tournament that's going on right now is like the pot's up to like $60,000 for whoever wins, but I think they split it up, but whatever. It's really cool. And that's what I've been getting really into. I've been getting really into Age of Empires, like pretty heavy, and it's been really fun just to play that game again. So if you haven't played Age of Empires, specifically Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition, go out and play it. I think they got it on Xbox now, which I'm not sure how that works. Like with because like it's Age of Empires has traditionally just been a Microsoft PC game, and you like you play with your mouse and obviously like hotkeys and shit on the keyboard. And so I don't know how that works and how this translates to this, but smarter people than I have done it and are probably going to be like, well, it's very simple because this just means this, and you could program this to another yawn. However, I don't know how to do it. And it seems a little counterintuitive, but that's fine because I'm trying to be Matty B with a positive P, and go for it, dude. Let it rip. Have fun. Okay. Let's see. I thought this was humorous to me the other day. I was talking to my brother. He called me, and I was just sitting at my desk, and I was just talking to him. Just talking, just chatting it up, and we were just talking about like soccer or football or just different sports things. And from the other room, Sam is just like, do you guys talk about anything else? No, we don't, okay? I don't talk about his life. Why don't you talk about if he has a girlfriend? I don't care. I want to talk about the fact that Liverpool didn't win the Premier League title after scoring the third most points in Premier League history, but because they were up against Pep's City team, which is one of the greatest of all time, they still lost by a point. That's what I want to talk about. I'd rather talk about that. You know? Is this making sense? Why don't you talk about, you don't want to find out about? No, I don't. I don't care. If he comes to me and is like, hey, man, I got something heavy on my heart. Wow, that's a very Christian phrase. This has been heavy on my heart. I've been wearing this on my soul. I just need someone to be my accountability partner so that I can bear. This has been heavy on my heart. No, if he's just like, hey, man, I got some shit to talk, I'm more than happy to talk about it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, oh, hey, man, by the way, are you seeing any? No, I don't care. I'd rather talk about how the Bengals in the offseason can't afford to sign everybody, and so we're getting rid of people like Von Bell and Jesse Bates, as well as Samaje Perine, even though we just signed the third-string running back Williams on an extension. I'd rather get into Joe Burrow contract talks. Like, are we going to be able to? Are we going to sign him this year? Are we going to wait till next year to get an extension? I mean, if we do it now, we're not going to be able to get him for less money than next year. But that means that we might not be able to keep some of the pieces because we got to pay Jamar next year. And I would rather talk about that than if he went on another Tinder date. You know what I mean? That makes exponentially more sense to me. And it's okay. I don't need to know about people. If you want to tell me stuff about you, that's fine. If you don't want to tell me stuff about you, I'm fine with that too. You know, I'm not going to tell you about my shit unless something really cool happens, and then I'll let you know. Like if I got some sort of Another yawn. I swear to God, I'm going to assassinate a baby. If something super dank happens, just like womp womp dank happens, then I'll tell you. And it'd be cool if you told me. But other than that, I don't need to hear that shit. And it's not like a problem. I don't care. These are some of my best friends, and I'll talk to them however I damn well please. Okay? These are my fucking friends. We'll do what we want. Let's keep it all inside and push it down so I don't have to talk about anything that actually matters. You know why? Because if I want to get in a fucking... If I want to get a heart attack at 55 and die, that's my business, okay? And nobody can take that away from me. Nobody. I can't decide what accent I'm going to go with. It's changed 3 times since I started talking. Okay? But that's my God-given right. That's my God-given right to do whatever I fucking want. And if I want to sit down and not talk about anything other than utter bullshit with me and my friends, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if I want to keep changing this accent and the tenor of my voice because I can't keep a consistent one, then that's fine too. Okay. Oh, I just do the SpongeBob song. That'd be a fucking great way to end that section. I really do need to get some more sound effects. I need to bring back. I've never had them. I need to incorporate some more sound effects. There we go. Sound effects into the pod. Like, I want to get an air horn. I want to get, like, a baby crying. I want to get... Because, I have 1 to 8, but then I can also go to a bank of more. I don't know, because currently they're just, like, very... Like, I've done this before, but they're just, like, the preloaded ones. Like... I should use that one more often. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like... Yeah, so, yeah, dude. Like, aren't fucking... Oh, dude. You shouldn't have done that. So I was at the club last night. I know. Yeah, but then so I was at the club the other night. Oh man, I know. It's so yeah. You guys are too much. Thank you. I need to do that more because that's fun. Who doesn't love a sound? Dude, if you've ever come across a soundboard and you can just go, ha ha ha, it's so fun. It's fun to just push buttons and watch shit light up. At the end of the day, we're all monkeys that just like, aren't colors cool? That's kind of how I just occupy myself and occupy my time, is just like looking at, just like, are there any buttons on it? How many buttons can I push? You're pushing my buttons. I have officially lost my mind. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I'm on a journey. Journey to find my authentic true self. Journey to find Matty B with a positive P somewhere in here. I'm trying my best. I've never been to Wyoming. That's a lie I have. That's the second lie I've told you today, but that's okay because you don't really care and you don't fucking know me, dude. Okay? All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Matt Bowman Is Bothered. If you like the show, please tell other people about it and rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, follow, do whatever the fuck on Spotify. Matt Bowman Comedy on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter at Batmoman, BATTMOWMAN. And if you're in New York City, catch me at a show. I do a lot of stuff at Brooklyn Comedy Club, Grizzly Pear, Greenwich Village Comedy Club, The Comedy Shop, Broadway Comedy Club, all of these places. Check it out. Thank you so much. I love you guys, except for you-know-who. And thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. See you next week. Stay bothered.